What is going on, everybody? It's Jay, aka it's A1 Story here, back with another Phantom Parade showcase video. And you may be wondering why I didn't start the commentary portion of the video in the character screen. And the reason why I didn't, I already explained it in the A0 video. I'm only going to be doing the kit overview in the A0 video since outside of the SP, the base kit doesn't change whatsoever. So in this video, I'll just tell you what the SP is for A1, and then we'll just, continue to talk about the clears present in the video. The SP for YUJI at A1 is an SP for his ultimate. And you may be wondering, what is this insane marvel of an SP? What does it do? Is it really an insane thing for a unit to acquire? And I will say it is a very good SP. A lot of people may not realize it, though, from a surface level. So what YUJI's SP does at A1 is that it gives him 220 ult gauge back and 15 cursed energy at the end of his ultimate, which is a phenomenal thing because that's one issue this unit particularly had at A0 was cursed energy management. And also, even when I was running an irreplaceable moment, despite the fact that I could get a pretty decent amount of black flashes going, there were times where it's like, okay, the ult gauge department is definitely falling behind. And YUJI is now able, I guess you could say, pick up the pace in comparison. And obviously, now that he's A1, he doesn't have like that A0 issue that DPSs usually have, as when they're missing that 25% stat increase from going A0 to A1, he basically completely changes, right? And that's not even encompassing the, how do I say this? The actual SP. Like, all in all, for his general performance, it was more important for him to get that A0 to A1 25% stat boost than just like the SP in and of itself, in my opinion. The stat increase, as y'all will see in the video, you can look at this video and his performance, double back over to A0, and you will see that he is completely steamrolling through content even faster than what he was before. And again, obviously, that could be attributed to his 25% stat increase he gets from A0 to A1. And on top of that, his ultimate giving him that 15 CE extra and that 220% ult gauge, he's basically able to fly off skill 3 as much as possible, which I explained in the A0 video is going to be your general game plan. Start your fight with a skill 2, really get yourself that black flash rate up, and then spam skill 3 and pray. That's basically this unit's entire game plan. Spam skill 3 and pray. And to be honest, in the A1 runs I was doing, I was very impressed because, again, the general conception, the general consensus of this unit is that he's useless until A3. I did not see that in this recording of this video. A1 was personally just steamrolling through content still without an issue. He was just doing it a little bit faster than his A0 counterpart, and the A1 runs were just, in general, a little bit more comfortable to do. As you can see, I'm pretty sure in my original A0 clear video, we did 85, I believe, in 11 turns. I believe that was the run I did. It was an 11 turn run or 12. I'll try and double check it. But yeah, this was really, really quick, and YUJI steamrolled this fight with absolute ease. Tray popped out. And let's see the stat sheet. Run up the numbers. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of overkill damage. Y'all know I love the overkill damage here. But 85 is already ridiculously easy as is. And yes, I checked back. My original floor 85 clear was 11 turns. Getting that A1 threshold pushed it to 9, which is very nice. And then we have limited tower floor 4. Over here, we did 15 turns at A0. This run was 12 turns, I believe. And one thing to take note of, again, when you really see that difference from A0 to A1, It comes from not his ultimate SP, but because when you hit that A1 threshold, after A0, you get that 25% stat increase, which is very prevalent during this fight because YUJI is able to slam down those skill 3s that completely melt break bars. It's a pretty ridiculous thing. I also don't remember, because obviously I've been doing a lot of testing. As I'm recording this video, the A3, I guess you could say showcase is already recorded. I just need to edit it. But when I was doing this, I don't remember if this run specifically, if it took us like also 6 turns before our first Black Flash, like in the original video, because that is also still an issue that you have to deal with while using this unit at A1 as well, is that the Black Flash rate doesn't change at all from A0 to A1. You're still dealing with that, I guess you could say, pretty poor Black Flash rate. But again, I feel like he tries to make up for it just in the general stats department. It's just the fact that, again, if you're not hitting Black Flashes, you're missing a 50% P-Tech buff, and that is a huge, an absolutely huge deal, because I have done comparison runs with people in my Discord server, and it's like, oh yeah, like I'll do a sweep run as like a damage test, and then my highest ultimate would be like 20 mil because YUJI just won't be in the zone state, so he's missing that 50% P-Tech buff. But then you put YUJI over, and he is in that zone state, and he does have a full setup, and he will be able to pop off like a 40 million ult. So it's pretty crazy just how like a few stats can just change everything. And yeah, so we're rewatching this back, and YUJI indeed did not Black Flash until his first ultimate, so I did not use Rec Bit. Because, again, for the Rec Bit I'm using on YUJI, in order for you to get the full benefit of it, he needs to Black Flash. So the guaranteed Black Flash has to save us. But I'm assuming that we're going to get a lot of benefit out of just getting the Black Flash from Ultimate, because we're probably going to steamroll the boss's health bar, because obviously spoilers, but this boss does not live for that long after this. I will say, yeah, right there, almost 16 mil skill 3 right there, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, again, when people were talking to me about this unit, and I saw people in comment sections and like, I guess Reddit threads and obviously other Discord servers, a lot of people said this unit is useless at A0 and A1. I'm sorry, but that was a 16 mil skill 3 I just saw. Alright? Now, mind you, I know A3 is really busted, but I feel like people have been using, I guess you could say, the term useless a little bit too broadly. That is my main issue, right? I feel like a lot of people's agenda is getting mixed up with the actual numbers. That's my best, I guess you could say, logic I could really supply out of this. No Black Flash there, a 7.6 mil. But yeah, you could see, like, there's a huge, I guess you could say, I can't say jump because it doesn't go up, but a huge fall in DPS when he's not hitting a Black Flash right there. And obviously, Miguel's laying down the law. I also had level 10 Miguel ult as well. I'm so glad the Chaotic Jujutsu Crystal's locked in for me. Getting level 10 Miguel ult, maybe a happy camper. Yeah, I'll say that. I'm a happy guy after getting level 10 Miguel ult. You guys will see, like, specifically why in the A3 showcase video. Wow, oh my goodness. The floor 89 run, it went better than expected. That's the best thing I'll say. Obviously, we set skill 3 for Miwa and Nanami because, you know, you don't want to only set up the P-Tech debuff for those two. You want to set up that P-Tech and C-Tech that comes with his skill 3. And obviously, they're still doing a huge amount of damage. Actually, surprisingly enough, you guys will see Miwa actually has a pretty nasty damage stat during this video. And that's another, you know, it's not 16 mil. It's really close to 17. It was like 16.9. So yeah, that was a 17 mil skill 3 right there. Bad at A1, I guess, right? This unit, he has done a lot of things overall to impress me. I can't lie. Now, A0, if A0 unimpressed you, like he's not really that impressing, I understand. I understand. Oh, wait, no, it's not 12 turns. It's 13. Oh, that's horrible. Wait, no. No, no, no. Let me cook. Let me cook. Okay. Your boy forgot. Okay, so I was right. It was 12 turns. Thank God I'm not a fraud. I remembered. Okay. I know y'all can see that crazy Miwa ult stat too. Her being able to hit multiple targets with her ultimate is the best stat plug ever. But for floor 89, in specific, the one thing that I remarked the most is that it became easier in a sense that I didn't have to run, I guess you could say, 2 healing rec bits. Because before, when I was doing it at A0, you kind of have to run into using multiple healing rec bits, or it would be like a high RNG clear. And the reason why I say that is because if YUJI is on his own and the boss's only gap periods is its break, because his slow ultimate gauge buildup and obviously his low black flash rate, you're going to run into some issues where you'll have, I guess you could say, some downturns. But during A1, his downturns isn't really there that much at all, because obviously we're going to keep saying this until y'all ears fall out. But the general stat increase, not from the SP, but just from going from A0 to A1, is a huge game changer. The original run for floor 89 that we had for A0 was 17 turns. Mind you, it should have been 16, but I thought I was a hilarious guy. It went from 17 turns to 12, which is a huge, huge jump for this unit. Another thing that I've noticed as well is that break bars for this unit disappears. This man truly becomes like the floor 89 Slayer with relative ease. The only issue is again, sometimes you will be praying for a black flash that will never come. That's the biggest issue. You'll be praying for a black flash that never arrives. Thankfully, during this run in specific, the black flash did arrive, and on this turn in specific, we're already halfway through the run. So Miguel's gonna lay down the law, but no crits. Shame. Shame. It's funny because you may think that a lot of resets for runs have to do with YUJI not really cooperating, but funnily enough, I would go against the grain and I will say it's Miguel's fault. When Miguel doesn't crit and I give him that Mr. Nanami rec bit, you're selling me. Miguel, come on now. So at this point during the run, I kind of go into a creative mindset. I'm like, you know, let's just get like the guaranteed stat debuffs in from Miguel's whip, and we can just do more damage during this down phase. And yes, we just pop a 10 mil skill 3 on 89. Chef's kiss. Then Miwa and Gojo will combo ult, which gives me a time to have Miguel reset. This will restore Miwa's curse energy because of Gojo's ultimate effect, I believe, with his co-op SP node. And this will also feed back into YUJI and Miguel's ultimate gauge, which will make the final combo ult far easier to accomplish. That's also something I haven't really explained as well, because, you know, somebody may be thinking at home, they're like, why are you doing the ult with Gojo if it doesn't debuff and Gojo doesn't do any damage to its Taijutsu stage? And that's the reason why. It's literally for ult gauge buildup and also to get Miwa curse energy back. And YUJI did not black flash here. Tragic, I know, but don't worry. It's almost over now. It's almost over. Like, I guess you could say the stat jump from A0 to A1 is so important. The ultimate SP is also extremely important as well, but I believe the stat increase is what matters the most in my personal opinion. And as you'll see here, we're basically on the turn. But before the clear, Gojo does die tragically on this turn. It gave me flashbacks to having A0 Gojo back in the day, and he would just, you know, eat the pavement every time on this floor at A0. Absolutely heartbreaking. Again, shout out to all my players who are stuck with A0 Blue Gojo. I know your pain. I know your pain too well. But yeah, we're gonna have Gojo get like obliterated out of reality. Then Nanami is going to come in, which Nanami is going to contribute a grand total of 700,000 damage and a little damage dealt buff before YUJI just clears anyway. Shout out Miwa for the ultimate. and Miguel didn't crit right there again. Sad face. YUJI black flashes. And that's a clear. So we basically mauled tower with the exact same team comp that we used on the A0 video. The only difference is that he's A1 now. So I'm going to dive straight into the final A1 review. Okay, A1 unit review. This unit, I'm going to say this. A lot of people tried to lead me into a certain direction. And by lead me to a certain direction, they told me A0, A1, mid or terrible. A3 is where the unit actually gets good. And from my personal usage of the unit, A1 is mid? I don't believe so. From what I've shown in today's video, we can remove the A1 is mid from our brains. The notion of him being mid at A1 is drastically overblown. I will say the jump from A1 to A3 is a bit of a ridiculous one. I will say this. The jump from A1 to A3 is, a kitten to a hydrogen bomb. But it's not because A1 is really weak. It's because A3 is borderline a brand new unit. But to be fair, let's establish this. A3 is like tremendously overkill. Under established boxes, A1 is going to be able to headbutt, rip and tear, go through all content with ease, as displayed in this video. A3, right? The area where people say he only gets good at A3. I promise y'all, when I post that A3 showcase, he doesn't get good at A3. He's too much at A3. A1 is a comfortable standard. Now, mind you, A3 is better for his comfort levels, I guess you could say, for his general kit, because he's able to black flash far more often at A3 because of that crit enhanced passive. But A1 already has a complement to his general game plan, which is obviously the 220 ult gauge and the plus 15 CE on top of the already 10 curse energy you would get anyway because he black flashes during ultimate. So his core game plan is already being assisted at the A1 threshold alongside receiving those plus 25% buffs to his kit because of the fact he's going from A0 to A1, and that's something that is universally applied to units aside from Season 3 Freegy, but that's besides the point, right? The core jump for him statistically doesn't come from the SP. The first SP is simply, I guess you could say, assistant for his general game plan, but, obviously, mathematically speaking, I guess you could say, the main jump for him to get more powerful comes from just something that's in the game inherently, which is just going from A0 to A1. This is something that applies to every unit in the game, right? The SP in and of itself, it doesn't increase his stats by any mean. It just makes his general game plan easier. And I already believe that you should be getting A1 on your, I guess you could say, your best DPSs anyway. Like if you have a DPS unit that you're going to be using throughout all scopes of content in the game, you should have them A1 as I guess you could say the standard, because A0 on any DPS, they will perform, but in comparison to their A1 variant, it will always be overshadowed. Look back to my A0 Nanami to A1 Nanami videos, look back to my A0 to A1 Kenjaku videos. I mean, the difference becomes night and day. Even though these units can still steamroll through content, the A0 to A1 jump is already massive as is. For this unit, it is also pretty substantial. Again, compared to clears from this video to the A0 video, they are not relative, okay? There is a very sharp, distinct level in performance, okay? So, will I say A1 is mid or bad, like the general community has tried to lead me to think? No. Is A1 being, an SP unlock a good thing? No. Do I support the SP system? No. Do I think that A1 will make all of your lives way easier if you do plan on using this unit? Of course, right? But at the end of the day, all content has already been cleared before this unit came out. So he still isn't that necessary to pull. He's still on the lower end of priority, but that doesn't change what he's capable of doing. So yeah, we're done the A1 showcase. Tower has been annihilated out of reality, but there's one last stress test. That is A3 YUJI. So with that note, I will leave y'all with this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord server. It's in the channel bio, by the way. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so please hit that sub button for more daily Phantom Parade content. And yeah, it's been Jay, aka it's already a 3 story. And I will see you guys later.